Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll be Max Verstappen's 2024 championship is wrapped up just after testing.
I thought you were declaring a thumb war, to be completely honest with you. But I mean, there you
Oh, Max would probably win that as well.
go.
But
Yeah, I'd argue more competitive.
Welcome to the 107 podcast with myself, Ash, and my co-host Jacob. Ironically, we will be talking about predictions today, which will result in more than one name of Max Verstappen. We'll be going through what we think the constructors will look like, what we think the drivers will look like, and the head-to-head for the teammates. But before we jump into that, do you have any quick thoughts on the 3 days of testing? Did anything stand out? Did anything not stand out?
A couple of teeny tiny things because I don't want to take away from our predictions. That's what we're here to do. However, we did use testing to help make better informed decisions for these predictions. That's exactly what we did last year. That's what we will do this year and next year and next year. Not the year after that, because I'm going to dramatically leave and then come back. But the year after that, we'll do the exact same thing. But it just helps give a little bit of a better idea. I think if you're doing predictions, like, for example, the 1st of January, it's just a bit silly, But for me, a couple of things stood out. One was there was an interview I can't remember the guy from Mercedes. James Allison, yes. He did an interview with Lawrence Barretto, and he could not stop smiling the entire time that interview was going on. So I think that some things going on at Mercedes, I think they've had a very good test, and I'm going to be very interested to see exactly where they end up.
Can you hold on 1 second? I'm quickly change my predictions.
Yeah, I changed my prediction based off of this interview. I'm not kidding. So that was pretty interesting. And also Haas ran the most amount of laps, which surprised me. They managed to run over 400 laps. My Bezzy mate, Kevin Magnussen, managed to run like the most laps of any driver as well. But other than that, there were no real surprises. It wasn't like, Alpine came in and like blew everyone away or anything like that. Nothing unexpected happened, I don't think.
Not like last year where the Astons
last year Aston smashed it. And McLaren, I'd argue, were also a little bit of a surprise as well because they just didn't do very well. But let's be honest, testing means nothing. It does help us give us an idea based on a few bits of data and stuff like that. But if you could very easily predict that, Max is going to win the title this year, but it's all based on testing and a few of the bits and pieces. Like, please take every single bit of information that we have around testing or that anyone has around testing with a big pinch of salt. Ash, any thoughts from you about testing?
No, I think you summarized it quite well. I just think the drain cover will probably beat Max Verstappen.
Yeah, drain cover might win a race this year, not going to lie. I'd look out for them.
Yeah, it'll probably take out Max or something in Vegas or some race. No, similar to you, like testing gives us an idea, but is by no means a definite of, this is where the cars will be.
Yeah.
So yeah, just looking forward to Bahrain and seeing really where the cars are at. So, and if you don't know, the race is on a Saturday.
Yes.
So Thursday, Friday,
race.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday race. Do you know why it's a Saturday?
Ramadan.
Because in Saudi, when Ramadan comes in, the race has to be on a Saturday. And the FIA have a rule that you have to have a minimum of 1 week between races. So that's why Bahrain is actually on Saturday.
Yeah, because.
No, but it's not because of Ramadan in Bahrain.
No, it's just Ramadan in general.
So I don't know that. So it's quite interesting. I didn't know there had to be a week between races.
I mean, it doesn't surprise me, to be fair. Also, it's not that difficult to move it, let's be honest. I actually have 2 questions for you based on testing. One, do you think that because there's limited amounts of testing, that the team should actually be able to run both cars at the same time?
Yes.
I think that most people would agree with that. And 2 is, do you think...
sorry, just to add more, they should have an extra day for young driver tests.
Yeah. That was going to be my other question, was that do you think that some time should be dedicated to the test and reserve driver?
100%. They do not get enough time in Formula One cars. And as great as sims are, I mean, one of the things about why Hamilton was able to hit the ground running so quickly at
Yeah.
McLaren is because he did so much testing in a Formula One car. So he knows how it handled, what his body was going to expect, everything like that. So absolutely, they should have more testing. Totally agree with Fernando on that. He summed it up very well. In what other sport do you see them try like a new racket, new ball, new equipment just before they actually go out and play?
Yeah,
Right? And
it's
young
odd.
drivers need more time in the car.
Yeah, I think it makes younger drivers, such as for Piastri and Logan Sargent, it makes their achievements, maybe not so much Logan, but it makes their achievements look even better, considering that Oscar Piastri is the best rookie since Lewis Hamilton, who had all of that preparation.
I mean,
so the
I
good
would
thing,
also mention Liam Lawson.
yeah, Liam Lawson as well, absolutely smashed it. That is another driver who I would really like to see on the grid sooner rather than later. And then I think another one as well is he does a lot of YouTube, by the way. I think another one as well is that like if you were to compare how much actual testing time that these drivers have compared to even 5 years ago, it's a joke. It really is a joke. So yeah, all for more testing. But that's enough rabbiting on. We said we were going to come in here with predictions. It's been 6.5 minutes now, and we haven't had one prediction. So why don't we start off with constructors? Or do you want to do drivers first? Or how do you want to do this?
No, let's do constructors because that's the top of my document.
Cool. Yeah. So we've gone for constructors, and then which teammate will outscore the other teammate, and then drivers. Those are the three that we have.
Let's go. Let's bring in the arguments.
should we do 10th to first or first to 10th for constructors?
No, let's go first to 10th.
First
because
to 10th.
It's easier to do the top teams.
Yeah, true. For anyone listening, I've written mine all down and Ash has typed his up. So if you hear some rustling, I do apologise. Right, okay, so first, I've gone for Red Bull.
I've gone Red Bull as well.
Okay, I did see a lot of people predict McLaren very early on, but I think that was quite stupid. And that's even me saying that as a big McLaren fan who knows that last year, the second half of the year, they scored more constructors points than Red Bull. Yeah, so first, Red Bull. Who have you gone for second?
Ferrari.
I have also gone for Ferrari. I swear, if these are the exact same...
they won't be the exact same.
This is going to look staged. Okay, third.
Do you want to do third?
I've gone for McLaren.
I've gone McLaren as well.
Oh, God, right, okay.
So, I mean, with Ferrari, I think they made a step up. It's first season where he's had control of the car, and testing was quite positive.
Testing was very positive for them.
They've got the new wind tunnel. They had, obviously, the reshuffle of the technical team, and the way they turned it around mid-season, I see them making a step up to their top three.
Yeah, I think that. So I had a look at the data, and because this is how much of a bloody nerd I am, had a look at the data, and Ferrari's race trim runs look better compared to the previous cars where they've actually just been really great over one lap and then tear through their tyres. So I think that with better race pace, they will be able to push on a little bit further and consistently beat the teams further below. I've also had a look at the data behind McLaren, and although their data is better, that car is still quite draggy. And so I think that will fare well at some circuits over others. So I think that they may, occasionally get a podium or two every now and again, but then also randomly end up 7th and 8th and stuff like that. So that's why I haven't given them second over Ferrari.
Okay. Yeah, I think they made a big step up. But if you look at their weaker races last year, which was like vague post the updates like Vegas and Monza and Mexico,
high
with
speed,
the long straights.
Yeah, draggy. Yeah.
Okay.
Fourth, Mercedes.
I've gone Aston.
Oh, okay. So I changed my prediction based off of this. Off of this interview.
I'm not going to change. I'm just going to go with my gut feeling. I know Fernando's downplayed quite a lot, but I think that I just have a feeling that they're kind of hiding something. That's what I'm going to say. They made a huge leap from 2022 to 2023, and I know they dipped in the middle, but I think honestly I think they looked at 2023 as like, shit, we weren't supposed to make this much of a jump. Let's try loads of stuff. This stuff isn't working. I think the FIA got involved with some of their updates, and they were kind of strong towards the end.
Yeah.
So I think that they are the next best team after McLaren.
Yeah, see, I've gone for Mercedes purely, and this is what it came down to. I said to myself, is Lewis going to score a similar amount of points as Alonso? Probably. Will Lance Stroll score a similar amount of points to George? No. They've got stronger driver pairing, and regardless of a stronger car, I think they will outperform Aston Martin over the year.
See,
so that's where I've gone for.
I think if they make the same start, Aston, I think Lance, Touchwood hasn't hurt himself.
Yeah, hopefully nothing like that
has
happens.
Had a year to learn the car, learn from Fernando. So that's what I've gone. But I've gone for Mercedes after that.
Yeah, I've gone for Aston Martin below. Yeah, I think it's going to be very tight. I think the front three will run away with it, and then it will be a battle between Aston Martin and Mercedes, honestly.
I think because Mercedes have had to do a complete redesign of the car, while everyone else has mainly evolved.
Yeah.
I think that might just hold them back a little bit because they're working with new concepts.
Let's see. Let's see. So who have you gone for sixth then?
VCarb.
I've done the exact same.
I think it's just a replica of last year's Red Bull.
Yeah. So from what I've looked into data as well, and their race pace is scary by the looks of things. So
I also think that Danny's a very good driver in giving feedback and simulations, and having them there for like a full winter has helped him shape the car, and so
absolutely
that's what I've done.
I think that. Also, they will be I would argue, like, obviously, this is technically midfield, but I think they will be the top of the last 5 teams. I think that it will literally be the top 3. Then, so like I said, McLaren and Aston Martin battling it out, and then the bottom 5. I think it's going to be a free for all. It's going to be who can collect points where and when. And I think Daniel will be one of the drivers that makes a difference in that as well. Plus,
hey man, let's give Yuki some credit.
Yeah. No, trust me, I'm a big fan of Yuki. I think he's absolutely fantastic. And just to toot Daniel's horn a little bit more, is Red Bull's performance actually dropped post Silverstone because Daniel was doing so much sim work that they didn't have as much accurate data for races going ahead. So their data quality actually dropped because Daniel Ricciardo wasn't in the simulator. So that gives you a good idea as well as to how RB can take their car and move a bit forward over the winter. So that's another reason why I've said 6th.
Okay, cool.
Who have you gone for 7th then, Ash?
Williams.
God damn it. I have also gone for Williams.
Again, they made a huge jump throughout the season.
Yeah.
Logan's got a season under his belt, so I think he will pick up some more points. We know how good Alex is. But also, the James Vowles has come in and really changed the culture of that team. And he's like, look, don't be afraid of failure. We're going to change the way we're going to do things. And I think that's going to reflect in the car as well. So, I think they're obviously a bit limited on resources, but I think they've made a huge step. And again, like if you see Drive to Survive, they really want to deliver a car that's going to be progressively getting better and will be updated throughout the year. So, that's who I've gone for. I'm guessing you've gone for the same.
Yeah, I've gone for Williams as well. I think that Alex will drag that team up the standings, but I think that Logan will hopefully have a few more points finishes. He was very close in Zandvoort. Obviously, he was, with the 2 cars disqualified at Kota. I think he was quite lucky. But regulations are regulations, so technically he deserved it. But also, let's be honest, it was also a bit lucky. But hopefully he will. He's now raced at all of the tracks, bar one, Imola.
And
China, yeah, sorry, good point. But bar those 2 tracks, he's raced everywhere else. So hopefully he will be able to, come into this with a bit more confidence. And that's actually something I heard Oscar Piastri said exactly the same. He said it's like a weight off of his shoulders. So that's going to be really good to to see him hopefully score a few more points. But the RB Racing Bulls driver pairing is just stronger. It just is stronger. So that's the reason why.
Cool. Who have you gone for after Williams?
Alpine.
So I've gone Stake.
Okay, so you think Alpine are going to do worse? Okay, so why have you gone Stake then?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I mean, for the bottom three, I'll tell you what my bottom three are actually. It's
Mm.
Stake, Alpine, and Haas. So Stake, I just thought, they've got Audi coming in. They're more willing to try new, different things. They've also got a few more sponsors coming in, so they've probably got some money, fair amount of wind tunnel time.
Mm.
Alpine has not been the best news coming out of
It's
testing
been
for
bad.
them. It's been quite bad. And again, I just don't see where they just. You saw it last season; they didn't really make any progress.
No.
So,
They
and then
slipped backwards,
Haas,
didn't they?
yeah, and then with Haas again, just the same thing where it seems to be like lack of resources, maybe lack of investment. Even TP has come out saying,
Yeah.
yeah, we're kind of going to be the same as last year. It does seem they seem to have improved the tire degradation though
Yeah.
with the long runs that they've done. So I could see them sneak a few points, but yeah, I think it could be a toss up between Alpine and Haas, but I've gone Haas just because Alpine probably has a stronger driver pairing.
Yeah, I think that the only thing for me is that with Haas, they seemingly picked up quite a few points during sprint races last year. So because it was the perfect sprint race car because it ate through its tires so quickly. But I think that for me, so like I said, I've gone Alpine, then Sauber is what I'm referring to them as, and then Haas. I'm going with Haas because very clearly it's in complete disarray. And I could have gone.
I have a story about Haas when you're finished.
Oh, good. Is this the hammer thing?
No, it's about apparently. I don't know if this is true or not. How Gunther lost his. No,
Oh, I
why
heard a
Gunther is no
similar
longer
rumor.
there.
Please explain the
Yeah.
rumor.
Do you want to finish your story?
Oh yeah, sure.
And then we'll do
So
it.
for me, I've got, like I said, bottom three. I've gone Alpine, Sauber, Haas, and I would argue that it's probably not going to come down to many points between them. It was really difficult for me to then when we did the drivers' standings, it was really difficult for me to actually rate where these people were going to be. Alpine, I think I had to put Sauber over Haas purely because of Valtteri Bottas. I think he's still a phenomenal racing driver, and Alpine, they seem to randomly sneak pretty good points finishes through driver intelligence. So although they might not have the best car, I think they'll be opportunistic and a little bit lucky, a little bit of like a scrappy sort of team, you know. So yeah, but we will have to wait and see. That team is in complete disarray, but hopefully there's a semi decent car underneath all of the exposed carbon.
We'll find out next week.
Yes, we will. Yeah, we'll have to find out then. But so you had a story about Gunther.
Yes. So apparently, again, this is just rumors, but it's very interesting, I thought. And apparently, this was told to a Dutch journalist, which was the reason. So he left by mutual consent, wasn't fired, was that he had brought a sponsor to the Haas team. And this sponsor was worth around £20 million, dollars. We'll call it dollars, right?
Yeah, we'll
So
go
a
dollars.
fair
Yeah.
amount, right? And in return, because Gene had bought the sponsor, he's like, look, I bought basically 20 million into this team. I would like shares in Haas, right? Which is, a fair thing to maybe ask for. You can be on both sides.
I think if you look at Toto Wolff, he owns a third of the team. So I think if Gunther had said, I want 5% of the team, 10% of the team, it might have been more, I don't know. But I feel like if he'd have said, I want this percentage of the team, and it wasn't something like, I want 51% of the team, then...
No, I don't think he'd ask for anything like that. And plus, he was the reason that Haas came in, right? He spent a lot of work behind the scenes, building them up, making them into a team. It wasn't Gene Haas.
A very
he bought the
thankless job.
Yeah, he bought the money, but Gunther really built the team up. And I can understand why he would want shares, but I can also understand why Gene wouldn't want to give up shares because these Formula One teams, no matter how poor they are worth. They're in the billions now, some of them.
Yeah.
Right. So he would have got a fair amount out, and Gene basically said no. So Gunther was like, "All right, I'm out then. It's not really worth me going through." We've seen in Drive to Survive going through all of that stress, all of that pressure, for like no real reward, because like if the car's not there in terms of like victories, is that at least there's a financial incentive for him to continue to do well, because hey, you've got shares in the company. So that is the rumor. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. Maybe we might find out. Maybe we
Yeah,
won't.
I too had heard that rumor. I don't know how much truth there is to it, but I would argue there's no smoke without fire, so there probably is a bit of truth to it. But I think that Gunther tried to cash in on his fame, and maybe it bit him a little bit, you know. But yeah, I think honestly,
I hope those books are selling well then.
yeah, I was going to say, I think that because of his fame and because he was part of the reason why Haas was so loved, he has more than enough gravitas and aura to walk into pretty much any media company whatsoever and say, I want to do F1 presenting and stuff like that. And that is exactly what he's doing in Bahrain next week. He's there in the paddock doing TV coverage. So whoever, I think it was you who had Gunther in the paddock on your bingo card, you will be able to tick one off next week.
Oh, yes.
I'm pretty sure.
So,
I can't remember. I think also Joel.
Strong start.
I think Joel from Yam Yam also has Gunther in the paddock as well. So yeah.
Okay.
I'll let you check that.
I will check.
But yeah, so that's the top 10. So I'll read mine out again very quickly, and also because it's easier to make TikTok clips. So for my top 10 constructors prediction, my top 10 constructors prediction will be Red Bull, Ferrari, McLaren, Mercedes, Aston Martin, RB, Williams, Alpine, Sauber, and Haas. And for you, Ash, your top 10 was?
My top 10 was Red Bull, Ferrari, McLaren, Aston, Mercedes, RB, Williams, Stake, Alpine, and Haas.
Nice. So we only disagreed on Sauber, Alpine, and Aston Martin, Mercedes. That's it. So
that's it.
I would argue there's probably a decent amount of truth in that. To be honest with you, I think we're pretty much spot on with that. Sorry. So next up,
hold on. On our bingo card, I have a surprise package at testing. Was there a surprise package at testing?
I don't think so.
Neither do I.
I don't think so. I think that you could argue that it was surprising how bad Alpine were, but I don't think that's that surprising.
I tell you what, I've got to fight for this. If they perform really poorly in Bahrain, I should get that crossed off.
We'll consult the council. We'll consult the council. Okay, everyone else is playing bingo. Which, by the way, I have completed the bingo card for the I Give an F1 girlies, so I will get that bingo card over to them. Both of them look pretty good, to be honest with you. I think there's some easy lines in there, which is nice. But so for teammate battles, let's do teammate battle predictions now. So we'll go through this in terms of like essentially how we thought the constructors would look. So we'll start with Red Bull. I think obviously Max is going to beat Perez.
Yeah, I've got Max as well.
It's plainly obvious. Yeah, I don't think we need to spend much more time on it. Ferrari, although I think Sainz is better because the future is with Charles, I've gone with Charles.
I've gone with Charles.
Yeah,
I'm expecting the hate again.
Yeah, we're both going to get hate probably.
Both of us got a lot of hate on that.
Yeah, honestly, like
I was like, we just have opinions.
Literally, yeah. You're welcome to share your own opinions. Yeah, honestly, start your own podcast, make your own opinions. Honestly.
That's brilliant.
All right, so third team, I'm going for Norris over Piastri.
Okay, I've gone Piastri over Norris.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. All right.
I think he's got he did so well.
He did do very well last year. I'm not going to lie.
He's got a season under his belt now, and I think, well, obviously one of the things was his tire management last year. I think he's worked on it, and I think he's really going to bring it to Lando, and I think he will beat Lando. I think we're super close. I think it'll be super. It's not going to be like blown away. But I'm going to go with Oscar.
It's going to be so interesting. Honestly, it really is going to be interesting. But this is what we've wanted at McLaren for a long time. Okay, so we'll go with Aston Martin next because you put them next in your predictions. So obviously it's Alonso over Stroll, right?
I've gone Fernando. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right. Next up was Mercedes. Who have you gone for?
I've gone Lewis.
I've gone George.
Okay, I think it's Lewis's last season, and I think some people are questioning his move to Ferrari and questioning him as a driver.
Yeah.
And I think he wants to show. I think he kind of also wants to show Mercedes a little bit who they're losing. So
Yeah.
I think that's what I think. I think he's just motivated to show that I'm the man, and also to show Charles and Ferrari's like this is what you're getting.
I do kind of agree. But I think that George is essentially going, I have to be the lead driver in this team now, unless they bring in Fernando Alonso or something like that. And I think that the team will naturally start favouring George towards the end of the season. I think. And honestly, I wouldn't blame them if they did. I genuinely wouldn't blame them if they did.
I mean, they kind of have to now, really, don't they?
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I mean. It's a different mindset. Although Lewis will be, a driving force in trying to prove his worth and be like, yeah, I still deserve a seat at the table. I still deserve a seat at Ferrari type thing. I just don't. I think that it's all well and good his intentions, but I think that the team will just start to lean on George a little bit more and rely on George and. So I'm going George over Lewis, which is controversial, but also it's already happened. So
that's true. That's true.
Next up, RB.
Danny.
Yeah, I've gone Danny as well. No real surprises. Williams.
Alex.
Yeah, no surprises there. Alpine.
Gasly.
Yeah, I've gone for Gasly as well. I think he was very hard done by last year.
I think he was, yeah.
And I hope that Gasly gets a bit more fair treatment this year. Japan springs to mind.
Yeah, no, I think he was. And it's also his second season with the team.
Exactly, so, yeah. Sauber.
I've gone Zhu.
I've gone Valtteri.
Yeah. Again... I think Zhu's very underrated, and I think he also has a lot to prove.
You're not going to like my driver's standings then.
Probably won't like mine. And he's got, I think he's underrated, and I don't know. I just have a feeling that we're going to see a lot more.
I hope so. Don't get me wrong. I think that goes.
Well, this is saying. Not. We don't think like one driver is just automatically better than another. It's just how we think the race is pan out.
Yeah, I think,
respect for all the drivers.
Yeah. I've got a huge amount of respect for every single one of these drivers. However, everyone
it's not that
will
we
be.
Think one is a better person than the other.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And
like, who's to say? Honestly, I would be loving it just as much as him if Zhou Guanyu won the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix in a couple of weeks' time. I would be,
and I'll be happy if Bottas won it.
Exactly. There we go. So that's what I mean. Like, we don't wish ill on any of these drivers at all.
No. I mean, there's going to be a winner at the end of the season.
Literally, yeah.
Who we think it could be based on performance and mindset and team. It's not like, Lewis is better than George. It's going to be Lewis.
I honestly don't really dislike any of the drivers either. I wasn't the biggest fan of Perez last year, but I mean, there we go. And Ocon's a bit whiny, but other than that, I mean, yeah. So just dissed two of the richest men in the world. So for Sauber, I've gone for Valtteri. And then Haas is the last team. I have gone for K-Mag over Hülkenberg.
I've gone Nico Hülkenberg.
I will admit that more than likely I will be wrong on that one. However,
see, this is where sometimes you've got
heart over head.
Biases.
Heart over head. Well, I'm going
but
heart.
It can also backfire on you, like it did for me last time.
Yeah, exactly. Like, but
I went purely. I went the James Vowles route.
You did. You went based on data, and maybe you should listen to your heart. Okay, cool. And then so drivers standings.
Okay. All right. I think Max is going to win.
Yeah. So Max is obviously going to win. I think he'll have it wrapped up like stupidly early in the season as well. It's going to be a joke.
Should we make a prediction on when?
Oh, yes. Let's make a prediction.
Because I got it right last time.
When?
I said Qatar.
You did, actually, yes. Because do you remember what happened? He won during the...
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
sprint race.
Or do we want to give it like a few races?
No, let's do it now. Let's do it. Let's raw dog it. Let's
Okay.
let's predict what race he's going to win the win the thing by. Right, schedule. Full schedule.
I'm gonna go Kota.
Okay.
19th race, United States. That's where I reckon he'll win it.
I am going to go Singapore.
So the race before?
Yeah,
okay.
Just the race before. Yeah.
All right.
That's what I'm going with. Singapore.
Okay.
So obviously, if it happens before Singapore, point to me. If it happens afterwards, point to you.
Yeah.
That's how we'll do it. Because I'd like to do a point system at the end of the year. We go back and review, and then we tot up the points to see who was most accurate. Because we're doing predictions as well before we jump into the rest of the drivers' standings. If you had to pick one person other than the Red Bull drivers to win a race this year, who are you going for?
Charles.
This doesn't include sprint races. This doesn't include sprint races. I haven't thought of this, by the way. I'm now thinking off the top of my head.
Is it? I'm going to go with Charles.
I'm going Alonso.
Going Alonso?
I'm going Alonso. I really, really think he's still hungry for that last win.
Oh, the guy is hungry. At like 80 years old, he'll do it.
He'll still be trying to win the Triple Crown as well. Yeah, I'm going Alonso. I think that...
I think... Sorry, go ahead.
For me, there is so much experience on that head. It is insane. He was unlucky in Monaco last year, and the upgrades didn't quite work for Singapore, which meant that Ferrari were able to capitalize. But I think a more mature Aston Martin will make things interesting. I bloody hope so.
To be honest, I think we're going to see a few more race winners this season. So
I hope so,
Max
but I don't think we will. I genuinely don't think we will.
I think we will. I think last season was a bit of an outlier, and I don't think they could do it.
I'm scared.
If they do, hands up.
I'm genuinely scared. The look on Newey's face, the look on Max and Lambiasi's faces when they were doing day one of testing, I think we could be in danger of having a complete washout of one drive, like Max the entire time.
No, I don't think so. I think there's one season maybe, but 2 seasons is just way too many variables.
No, I genuinely am a bit worried.
Nah, I think we're going to see Max win, Charles win, Sergio win. I think we'll see one of the Mercedes boys win, and hopefully Fernando and Carlos as well. But
notice how you didn't mention any of the McLaren drivers.
Oh yeah, sorry. Okay, Oscar's out. I think there'll be a few.
I think 2026. I think that's when we'll have some more variation. Yeah. Or I think maybe the end of 2025, because that's exactly when Red Bull started to come back, when they fully understood those regulations and then were finally ready to hold a torch towards Mercedes. I think that's when it'll happen.
We'll find out.
The last year of those regulations. Yeah. But
I'm not going to say any conspiracy theories, but it's not good for the Formula One product and the big wigs if one team's winning all the time.
No, it isn't. I would agree with that.
Okay, we let you have 2023, but there might be a few unexpected mechanical errors, right? That's all I'm saying, man. Share prices are important.
So is viewership numbers as well, honestly.
Exactly.
Yeah. But all right, so drivers' standings. Let's run through this quite quickly, unless we really do think, we really need to break this down.
I think we're pretty similar. All right.
So
first,
I'm thinking we do, just first this driver, second this driver, and then right. So first, Verstappen.
Yeah.
Second,
Charles.
Yep. Third,
Sergio.
Perez. Yep. Fourth,
Carlos.
Lando.
Oh. Okay.
Fifth,
Fernando.
Carlos. Sixth,
Lewis.
Alonso. Seventh,
Oscar.
Piastri. Yep. Eighth,
Lando.
George. I'm going George. Ninth,
George.
Hamilton.
Okay.
10th,
Lance.
Stroll. We're doing this really well. All right,
Yeah.
so 11th,
Danny.
Danny. 12th,
Yuki.
I've gone Albon. 13th,
Albon.
I've got Yuki. We're so close with these, honestly.
I know.
14th,
Gasly.
Pierre. Yeah, I've gone for him. 15th,
Ocon.
I've gone Valtteri.
Okay.
16th,
Zhu.
I've gone Ocon.
Okay.
17th,
Valtteri.
K-Mag.
Okay.
18th,
Logan.
Nico Hülkenberg. 19th,
Nico Hülkenberg.
I've gone Mr. Freedom himself, Logan Sargent.
Okay.
And 20th,
Your favourite, K-Mag.
I've gone Zhou Guanyu.
Oh my... What? No way! Have you put him right at the bottom?
I put him bottom.
Nah.
Put him at the bottom. Sorry, Joe. It's back to
gosh.
China F3 for you.
You just hate it because he dresses well.
I'm jealous of his fit, and he's a millionaire.
Fashion style.
God damn it.
That's
He holds a candle to Lewis. I'm not gonna. Most of the
he
time,
does.
I prefer his outfits than Lewis's.
I
Not
prefer
gonna
his
lie.
too.
He's got drip.
He's got style.
He's got drip.
He's got drip.
Look, I'm going to show you as well the last 5 drivers. I scribbled them out like 3 or 4 times. I'm not kidding. I could not decide.
I'm glad you said do the head-to-head first because I'm pretty sure I'd have fucked up the head-to-head and then... Hold on, you
Yeah,
said
so-
Valtteri
so-
Zhu, but you put Zhu ahead Valtteri.
Exactly. So before we jumped on the call earlier on today, I've rang Ash. And I essentially said exactly how I did it. I did constructors, then which teammate was going to beat the other teammate, and then that helped construct the drivers' championship as well. It does just help, honestly, with maths and stuff like that. So, because for example, you wouldn't have said, "Oh, Daniel's going to outscore Yuki," and then put Yuki further up in the drivers. That doesn't make any sense. So I thought that would be pretty helpful. So, do you want to run through your top 20 so that we can upload it to TikTok and hopefully smash some views?
Okay, let's go. So my top 20 are Max Verstappen, Charles Leclerc, Sergio Perez, Carlos Sainz, Fernando Alonso, Lewis Hamilton, Oscar Piastri, Lando Norris, George Russell, Lance Stroll, Daniel Ricciardo, Yuki Tsunoda, Alex Albon, Pierre Gasly, Esti Besti, Guan Yu Zhu, Valtteri Bottas, Logan Sargent, Nico Hülkenberg, and Kevin Magnussen.
Honestly, I think that both of our
It's fairly
predictions
similar.
have been pretty similar and fair,
Yeah.
honestly. Here we go. My top 20 are as follows. So for the 4th time, Max Verstappen, world champion. Then I'm going Leclerc, Perez, Norris, Sainz, Alonso, Piastri, George Russell, Stroll, Hamilton, then Stroll. And then 11th onwards is Daniel, Albon, Yuki, Pierre, Valtteri Bottas, Ocon, K-Mag, Hülkenberg, Logan Sargent, and Zhou Guanyu. There we go. So I think there were quite a few similarities, but there were a couple of odd ones. Do you want to quickly jot down in your document who you said was going to be the other race winner other than Max?
Yeah, sure.
So I'm going to put race winner. Hold on, race winner. I'm just going to put L plan because I will know what that means when I go and create graphics for Instagram.
I'm going to put down Chuck.
Perfect. Chuck also works. But so for these, we will be sharing our predictions. We'll make up a little graphic or whatever. And we'll chuck those up on Instagram. So if you're not following us on Instagram, why aren't you? Because you should be. We drop some of the hottest memes around. I did a Drive to Survive meme.
Hot memes.
We both do. Honestly, your memes have slapped recently. But I dropped a meme earlier, a Drive to Survive meme, which we'll be talking about in our next episode. And it did pretty well. I also dropped a Fernando Alonso meme that had more likes than we have followers the other week, which is pretty good. Yeah, so currently, within 6 hours, it's got 1,200 likes.
Boom.
Which is not too bad
Formula One
at
is
all.
back, baby.
So 6 hours, so that's 200 likes an hour. It's not
good.
too bad at all. Especially
We're
considering
here to entertain.
yeah,
That's what it
especially
is.
considering the last post that I didn't post, the last post that isn't a meme, has a total of 9 likes. So that just gives you an idea as to how varied our Instagram is. But yeah, we post memes, we post news.
We're not that controversial.
No, we're not. No, honestly,
We try and give everyone a fair shake, and when we have something that people disagree with, just shit hit the fan when that happens.
What is the most controversial thing that we've said? I know exactly what mine is, but I'm right, so it's not that bad.
I don't know. I mean, we got like a lot of people commented on the Carlos versus Charles stuff, but that was fairly tame.
That's also recent as well.
There were some idiots in there, like about Drive to Survive fans.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I want to go on a little bit of a rant about this.
Here we go. Yeah.
Right. I don't care how people get into the sport, and you should not gatekeep. Right?
Oh, absolutely not. No.
If someone watched Drive to Survive and is now a fan of Drive to Survive, now a fan of Formula One because they watched Drive to Survive, that's the whole point, right? We are not here to gatekeep the sport or say your opinions don't match mine. You're not allowed to watch a sport. And if you only like Charles Leclerc because he's good looking, that's you. You do you. That's it.
Perfectly understandable. He's a handsome man.
What I don't understand this gatekeeping of you only like Charles because he's good looking, or you only support Ferrari because of this, or Mercedes.
Are you just projecting?
No, but it's not nice. I don't like it. Right? It's okay to disagree. It's okay to say, you know what, I don't like George because I'm more of a Lewis fan. I think he's a better driver. That's fine, as long as you can respectfully disagree. I hate when people say you're not allowed to watch a sport because you got into it because of Drive to Survive. It's like, why? Why?
I think a similar argument is a lot of people are complaining that a lot of new NFL fans, especially younger girls, are only fans of the NFL because of Taylor Swift.
Who gives a shit?
It's still making that club money, so who cares? Like, that's my thing.
Who gives a shit? So they're like Taylor Swift and now they're like NFL. I'm sorry, are you the owner of the NFL? Who gives a shit?
Right? Yeah, it doesn't matter, honestly.
So
literally does not matter.
It's really annoying, and it really pisses me off. Like, I don't mind if people give us shit. I don't really care. Right?
No,
it doesn't matter. But I hate it when like people are just trying to get into the sport, and just because they didn't get in the '90s or Schumacher or something and watched it with the V10s, that they're not real fans. It's like, grow up, man. Grow up.
Yeah, I mean, there's also like there's people who are just fans of the modern cars. Some people don't like the old cars.
Yeah. So, and guess what? There are people younger than you out there who
yeah, true.
There's people younger than you out there, and this is how they're getting into Formula One. I hate gatekeeping. I hate that you're not allowed to enjoy it because you didn't get into it the same way I did.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, man. Like, they're just so insecure.
Yeah, it's not great. It's really not great.
It's not great, and it's like, this whole point, right? Lewis pushes for it, and whatever your thoughts are, like, Formula One is trying to do more with Formula One Academy and diversity and things like that. And then you got people saying you're not allowed to watch a sport because you came through Netflix.
I'm actually really looking forward to F1 Academy.
I am as well.
I'm going to give it a good shot.
I'm going to give it a good shot.
Yeah, because it's going to be on Sky Sports F1 as well. So you'll be able to watch it in the UK.
Finally. Finally.
Yeah, and it's going to be on F1 TV as well. So that's going to be very interesting to watch that. And also, I will be very intently watching F2 as well this year. And I'd recommend, if you have never watched the F2 season before, or maybe if you've only caught 1 or 2 races, pick a horse and stick with it and see how they go through the season, because it's going to be an interesting season, I think. Maybe not as interesting as last year, but I still think pretty interesting.
You never know.
I would like to go back because a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a week or so ago, 10th of February, so over 2 weeks ago, ignore me, shush. I uploaded a reel which said, drop your most outrageous predictions for F1 2024 season in the comments. And I would like to honour a few of the Instagram followers that we have and run through them, and we can say whether or not they're realistic, unrealistic. Okay. And then we'll round out the show, because I'll be honest with you, it's almost 11 o'clock here and I kind of want to go to bed, to be honest with you. I'm thinking of bed. It's bedtime, boys.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the gym.
Yeah, we have different lives.
Different lives.
Okay, so I will leave my prediction till last to make the listeners listen for even longer.
Oh gosh, you're one of those people on social media that like wait till the very end.
Sorry, do you not know about viewer retention?
I hate those people.
I know you hate
anytime
it.
anyone does that, I'm like, how do I block this person from
I know you hate it, but the problem is that it helps you in the algorithm, it boosts you and stuff like that. And when you're as small as us, you need it.
I hate that the
I know,
algorithm rewards that.
honestly.
You got to play the game, right?
We do. So let's play this game.
Let's make the initial ones really good.
Yeah, no, the initial ones are good. I just want to discuss my last one last because it's also mine. Okay, so the first one is from Nismo_Ninja_GTR on Instagram, and they said,
love that username.
It's a great username. They said Hamilton is in the title fight at the halfway point. So by the summer break, he's still within a shout of the title. That's his prediction. What do we think?
Fair,
I think semi-fair.
Fair. I think it's fair.
I mean, where did he end up in the drivers last year?
Wasn't he?
He was third. He was third. Yeah. So, I mean, you could argue.
But, he's saying that he'll be in with the title fight.
Yeah, I don't think that's that realistic, actually, thinking about it.
Okay. But I like the hope.
I like that. Yeah, I like the hope. Okay. The next one is from Asprong24. ASprong24. And they said Hamilton is about to go out with a bang.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
By the way, this was after the Hamilton news had broke as well, obviously. So, I think he will.
I mean, I would ask, define bang.
Yeah.
But, I think Hamilton has got his Ferrari contract locked up. He's just.
I think what they mean is, he's going to drop a pole position on us or, a podium out of nowhere type thing, or come from the back of the grid and score a decent points haul.
Right.
He's going to do something that reminds us he is the GOAT. I think that's semi-reasonable.
I think that's a good prediction, actually. Yeah, he did it last year with the Hungary pole.
Exactly. Yeah. The next one is from Jack Rogers 4, who says Max, Lando, Charles, Sainz all get at least one win each, with the possibility of Hamilton and Checo as well. For me, this is very wishful thinking. I think probably unlikely. You think it's likely though?
I think. Who did he say wouldn't get a win? Who's the two drivers?
He's a possibility of Hamilton and Checo as well.
Well, I said earlier that I think there's going to be more race winners, so I think that's a good prediction.
Okay.
I'm gonna back him or her.
Sorry. Okay. It was Jack Rogers. I presume it's a man. I don't mean to assume someone's gender, but the profile picture.
I think it's a fair prediction.
I'm pretty sure the profile picture is a man as well. So next up is the real Keel 22, and he says Max finally gets an engine failure.
Yes, I think that is fair.
How long has it been since he's had a technical DNF? It's been a long time.
Yeah.
So
do you know the last time he got lapped was 2017, I think.
It's outrageous.
Who put that out? Was it F1 Data Science or something?
Probably, yeah. Shout out F1 Data Science, they're amazing.
I think that's
fingers crossed. Fingers crossed, because it would make it interesting. Like we said before, we don't wish ill on any of the drivers, apart from Ocon.
Yeah, I just think he's overdue.
Yeah, exactly. He's overdue some problem, essentially.
Yeah.
Especially compared to, for example, Ocon, who has an engine failure every other week. McCleary Aaron 72 says Sainz needs another win.
What do you think he means by Sainz needs another win? As in, if he doesn't get a win, his options for next.
I think he just means Sainz is going to win a race.
If Sainz is going to win a race,
based off of the last season, he's one of only 3 race winners. So I mean, you've got to give him a big chance based on that alone. Plus, he's got a point to prove at Ferrari as well. So.
I think that's a good prediction.
I give that's not outrageous prediction level.
I think if you read it as he's wrote it, he does need another win to prove to teams next year. That's a good prediction. Yeah. Sainz does need another win.
Ryan_Portala said Max scores points. This is the most outrageous prediction I've seen in a long time. Get out, please. I might block him, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put money on it.
Me neither. Boulder_kid has said a 6-second time penalty for Ocon. Don't know how he gets 6 seconds, but there we go. And then someone has actually dropped their prediction for the Drivers' Championship.
Okay, and it's not Max, I'm guessing.
I'm not going to win it. I'm not going to read it out. But top 3, they've gone for Verstappen, Charles, and Lando Norris.
Nah, Lando not top three.
I'm
Sorry.
looking to see if there's anything outrageous in here, and they've put Stroll 15th, but they've put Alonso
That's a
in
bit up.
9th. They've put Alonso in 9th.
I think Stroll would get higher. I think
I would
Fernando
assume
get
he would
higher.
get higher. Kevin Sites has said the title fight will be between Max and Fernando. I'd pay a lot of money for that, but I think it's too far
A
fetched.
lot of money of that.
Yeah.
I don't think the Aston's there, unfortunately.
Yeah, I
I'd
don't
love
think
to
so
see it.
either.
And if there's anyone that could do it with a weaker car, Fernando's one of them.
Driver, yes, to extract everything
Fernando
out of the car.
and Lewis, possibly Charles.
Yeah. And then the last one, because one of them was just a GIF, which I don't fully understand, was way pasta MPED.
Okay.
Way past stamped. Yeah, whatever. Is Lando Norris gets his first win. I'll give him 50-50.
I tell you what, he'll get his first win because somebody else messed up. That's what I'm going to say.
It'll be like a Russia situation, but he will be on the front foot this time, maybe.
Yeah.
Let's wait and see. And then to finish
really outrageous.
No, this is why I left my prediction for the last one. I have gone for Carlos wins in Monaco.
That is pretty. Yeah, he's not going to win in Monaco.
That's pretty audacious to say such a thing. But you know what? We are gonna. You know what? I'm looking directly at the camera. We're gonna come back. We're gonna come back to this moment in when's Monaco race? When is the Monaco race? It's gonna say on the screen here because I'm clipping this right now. I'm clipping it right now. This is when the Monaco Grand Prix
26th of May.
26th of May. You can see it written here, right? Guarantee it. Carlos is going to win in Monaco, and Charles might not even be on the podium. I said it.
I like the energy.
I said it.
Well, I think I got because I decided to make my bingo card a challenge, and apparently no one else did. I put my middle one as Max. Charles.
Charles winning in Monaco. Yes, you did. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see.
I'm not going to make any outrageous predictions because I made one last year and I've learned how to.
It was quite bad, if I'm honest. But you didn't drop any of the clangers, so maybe I'll drop a clanger this year. But can you imagine if he does actually win in Monaco before Charles?
Yeah, that's the same.
Outrageous. But yeah, there we go. I think that's enough predictions for tonight. I predict I'm going to go to bed in 10 minutes.
I'm going to give you an outrageous prediction.
Oh, go on then. Yeah.
A double DNF for Red Bull this season.
Ooh, okay, that is outrageous. What? Why?
I have no idea why.
You're just talking a battle between the two drivers type thing.
I just think that there'll be a position where they battle, or they both have failures, or they both get involved in incidents with other drivers. That's my outrageous prediction.
Okay. All right, fair enough. I'm trying to think if I have any others, but I don't really think I do.
No, this was a fun episode. I like it.
Yeah, this was really good. I think that the only thing really that could be surprising or anything like that is when silly season is going to start kicking in properly, and that will be around the summer break when contracts start developing and stuff like that. That's when I think some surprising things could happen. But I don't want to predict anything. I would actually like to do what I think makes sense driver lineup for all of the teams. I think that would also be a fun episode. Maybe we do that on one of the down weeks where not a lot's going on. So because obviously Hamilton is going to Ferrari, who do we think is going to fill Hamilton's seat, and then who will fill that seat? And we'll just say what we think the driver lineups will look like for the year after. That could be a fun episode.
Yeah, that would be good. But yeah. Interesting.
All right.
We'll have to come back to this one because last time we didn't come back to our predictions. We'll come back to
it. We sort of did a bit, didn't we?
Not really. No, we didn't really.
Or did I mostly?
It was our first year doing the podcast, so we're kind of just working stuff out. So anyway, we're rambling. Let's wrap it up.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. It's bedtime for me. But wherever you are, enjoy the rest of your day, or have a good nap, or sleep, or whatever it is you're doing. Enjoy your morning coffee, or enjoy race day if you saved this for race day. We're really looking forward to race day kicking off on the Saturday. Again, I will remind everyone it is Saturday. We are kicking things off in Bahrain. So we will leave it there. Thank you everyone for listening, and we will see you, I guess, during race week.
Oh, we'll see them when we talk about Drive to Survive as well.
Oh, well, yeah. All right. Okay, fine. All right. Well, see you then. See you in the next one. God damn it, Ash.